A few months ago, I was having lunch with some of my neighbors, and I just happened to be sitting next to one of my wife's friends, and she turned to me and said, "I have a Porsche Boxster, do you want to buy it?" And she said that she didn't like driving it on the roads here because it was small compared to all the big SUVs that are around. And I had one question for her. I said, "Is it blue?" And she said, "Yes." So I said, "I'm your man." I went to have a look at it, and I actually filmed that day with the intention of putting out a video about the beginning of the journey with this car. And I filmed it with my GoPro, and those of you who've seen my videos will have seen a couple of weekends after that, I was at Circuit of the Americas and I lost my camera, or should I say the wonderful people at Avis decided to keep my camera. Anyway, I thought all the footage was lost, but I did find some footage in my phone. And I thought this would be a good time to do just a quick video on it, and you get to see my younger son, Alex, who was with me at the time. And he and I did the PPI together. Most of it was on the GoPro, but you'll see some of our comments about the car on the video. So without further ado, let's take a look. This is the car. From the front, it looks like a 911, and there's a good reason for that. This is a 986 Boxster, the 1997, the first year that they made the Boxster, and it used the front body panels from the 996 911. So there's a lot of similarities, and those similarities carry on inside. It uses the 911 interior. So as long as you look at it from the front, you have got a 911 look-alike. So this one's in whatever they call it, dark blue metallic. It only had 65,000 miles on it, but it had led a bit of a rough life. It's got a few dents and dings in it, and the worst of which is in the hood, or the bonnet, the front. Apparently, it's a very deep trunk at the front of this car, and apparently one of the previous owner's children had put a bag of baseball bats in there and slammed the hood on it. So that's one of the things I've got to get sorted. There are a few dents and dings down the side. I'm not sure if you can see those. It's not led an easy life. The wheels are in need of a refinishing. The top is a little scuffed on the back window, so I'm hoping I can clean that out. And it's got this smallest little, it's not a tear, it's just kind of a little hole in it, but it doesn't let water in. All in all, it's a great car. I've been driving it for the past few months. It makes a God almighty racket in first gear. So that's going to be one of the things that I've got to find out what that problem is. If you pull away in second gear, no noise. Pull away in first gear, it's like the gearbox is full of loose bolts. Now, I've already started work on this, and I have a feeling that may be related to an extremely worn dual mass flywheel, but we will see. So let's just have a look inside this car. And you can see it's actually, it's all 911. It's in pretty good condition. The gear knob needs changing, that's easy to do, but the seats are in great condition. Air conditioning blows cold. This car is great. And you can probably see there, you see it, there's just a little ding there. I noticed as I was walking along, there's another one up here. Those should be fairly easy to get out with a paintless dent repair. There's a bit of the B missing on the Boxster. You can get those badges fairly easily. But this car looks great. So all in all, I think I got a really good buy. I was able to get it very cheaply because guess what? The IMS bearing has not been done. And even though a lot of people say, well, if it's got this far, it's, 25 years old, 24 years old. If it's got this far, that bearing's not going to fail. It's only got 65,000 miles on it, but it's been sitting a lot. And if it sits a lot, that's an ideal situation for the seal to fail and engine oil to get in and wash out the grease when you do run it. So I decided to bite the bullet, bought all the parts, and I'm going to change the IMS bearing, rear main seal, and new clutch. I found I need to put a new flywheel in, and anything else that I find as I go along. It's got a weird shimmy as you drive along. That may be the tires. The tires are very old, but we will see. Anyway, this is my cut price Porsche Boxster, and I'm going to be publishing a few videos about the journey to bring it back to its former glory. I hope you enjoy. Well, we've had the car for the afternoon, so we're doing the shopping check for how convenient it is.
We managed to get at least 2 bags in it.
We did. Well, it's actually pretty good. There you go.
If it opens.
If the trunk opens. You see, we've been to Home Depot. Where are we? And we've got soil. What else did we get from Home Depot?
Chlorine.
And chlorine, just in little bags, because you can't get chlorine anymore. And now we've got beer, bacon, and Red Bull.
And that's just in the first trunk.
And that is in the trunk. We didn't need to use the frunk. What did I put in the frunk? Nothing. Boxes.
The spare tire.
There's a spare tire in there.
My door unlocks by itself, or doesn't lock.
His door does random unlocking. Mine doesn't unlock at all. So I have to use the key. Sucks. Anyway, it's hideously underpowered.
It's a teeny
Okay, not hideously underpowered. It's underpowered. And it's got lots of squeaks and rattles. And probably needs a new transmission.
But apart from that, oh, it needs an IMS bearing. The air conditioning doesn't work too well. Apart from that, it's really good.
I like it. It's got lots of dents in it. Shall I switch it on so we can get cool?
Yeah, it's a bit toasty in here.
I don't hit anything. We did find out how to fill it up with gas. That was good. So we put gas in it. I'm a nice neighbour. Got your finger in the way.
You're not.
And we had a slight worry that the warning light for the rear spoiler kept showing up, but apparently it does. Apparently that's what it does on these cars. It stays up until you start going because the rear spoiler pops up based on speed.
All right, and
we're just about to have an accident.
We've also lost the rear plastic thing here, but it was rattling, so it's just annoying. So it's probably better.
I took that out. Well, we took the plastic windshield out, plus the grill that used to be in here. It actually handles really well on its 8-year-old tyres. That's another thing. Even though the tyres only have about 5,000 miles on them, they are toast. They are 2013 and they're gooey. Those have to be changed. So I've written down a long list. The Range Rover convention.
Yeah, the list gets longer the more we drive it.
Yeah. So we found out that the alarm remote doesn't work. The gear knob is falling apart. There was a loud crash earlier when we went over a bump. And yes, it's hot today. I don't know how hot because this doesn't have the temperature in it. It's too old for them. They only invented thermometers in the 2000s, I think. And I mean, this is a criticism of all the Boxsters. It bumps and crashes over bumps. There's a lot of scuttle shake in it, but that is to be expected, and it's to be expected in a 25-year-old convertible. And I like it if we can get it at a decent price so that it doesn't cost a fortune in total to do all the repairs on it, and it's worthwhile.
after a hard brake test.
It wasn't a hard brake test. We just stopped it. Just stopped at some traffic lights, and the brake fluid warning light has come on. And I checked it earlier, and it was fine. So that's not good. The brakes feel fine. And I'm not sure how the sensor works for that, because on this you just literally got the thing to fill up the brake fluid hole, the cap, and often it's in the cap. It's a sensor that's in the cap. This one doesn't have that, but we have a brake fluid warning. Probably find this is